We are here with Yard Goats General Manager Mike Abramson, who has been busy. I have seen you here probably as early as 6 o'clock in the morning, sort of walking around looking for things to do. Always looking for those last little sort of I's to dot and T's to cross, aren't you?
Yeah, I feel uncomfortably prepared for 10 o'clock in the morning on opening day. I have a feeling something big is going to pop up, but we're in good shape. We're ready to go.
That is good to see, and it's been a lot of work to get to this point. One thing that I have noticed here, because I hadn't been here for a little while, it's all the development that's going up around the park too. Just sort of helps to feel like this ballpark is ingratiating itself in absorbing the community around it, and the community is absorbing the team and the park too.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, we had our staff orientation about a month ago, and all of our new employees and our returning employees, and one of the things we talked about was how proud everybody should feel about the development, because that was the promise of the ballpark. You know, years and years ago, the city was split in half by the highway, and the vision the folks here in Hartford had for this development was that it would once again unite the north end and the downtown.
Yes.
And it's all happening. These buildings are going up all around us. There's construction done, construction underway, and that's a credit to everybody who's worked here over the past 10 years.
That is fantastic. And remember, I know sometimes some old parking lots were there. You guys have partnered $5 parking lots all over the general area here within a couple of blocks of the park.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we first opened, we were never supposed to have adjacent parking to begin with. So people did get comfortable with that, and it was a nice convenience to have, but we're now in a space with the development that's done, the development that's underway, where we're back to the original lots surrounding that development. But it's still $5. It's still 1 block away. I mean, it's not bad. A lot easier than trying to park near Fenway.
Yeah, that is for sure. We've done a lot of talking this morning about the facilities, about the park, about the team, about the food, about the promotions, the giveaways. We have not talked about one crucial part of the experience, the fan experience, and that's the people. How many people are here working for the Yard Goats on a game day?
Yeah, I mean, 200 to 300 depending on the day. And yeah, it is the most crucial and important part of our success over the past 10 years, 9 years in this ballpark. We have so many folks on our staff, ticket takers, ushers, concession workers who have been here since day one, and they're the folks that the fans meet. They're the ones that they know. They're the ones that they look forward to seeing at the games. They dance, they clap, they're fans of the team, and that, I think, really just contributes to this environment that feels so welcoming. You know, there are a lot of us who plan things, but we don't get to meet all of the fans every day, and our staff does, and they have just knocked it out of the park with it. I mean, I'm so proud to be a co-worker with everybody that's been here over all of these years, and how much that's contributed to the success of the organization.
And it's more than them taking care of the fans. There's another part to it earlier on where you take care of the employees so that they will take care of the fans. Talk to me about some little ways the organization takes care of its employees. Yeah,
for sure. So, I mean, the easy one is employees coming to games for free. That's simple, but we like to give them access to the ballpark that the fans enjoy. When they're serving the fans in the YG Club, out in the ballpark, on the field, we give that back to them as well. So a couple of times a year, we have huge full staff parties. Everyone who works in the ballpark, from the janitorial staff to the team. The team comes too. Get a DJ, we get a live band, all food, open bar, everyone has a great time. We also do an on-field batting practice for the game day staff as well. They get to go down on the field in the Turtle and take a shot at hitting a home run out of Dunkin Park.
That is fantastic. And also looking around, there's so much signage, and you're used to seeing it at a ballpark, but you forget about how important the corporate sponsorships and other companies are to the health of this organization.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, our corporate support, our sponsors, and community partners like yourselves, since day one have been an anchor to us being able to do the things we do and execute the community programs that we execute.
Right.
You know, particularly when you talk about the 10-year story, COVID was in the middle of that. We had a year where a lot of businesses did not survive. We did not lose a sponsor throughout the COVID year. When we were back in 2021, they were all back and then some. And I'm just really so thankful for the corporate community here in Connecticut that's been with us for this ride.
Okay, well, here we are, under 7 hours to go. I certainly appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, thank you.
Mike Abramson is here, and he's been working hard, but I think, as you said before, once those games start, maybe just take your foot off the gas and enjoy another great season. So thank you so much for joining us. We certainly appreciate it, Mike.
I can't believe it. I mean, it's like opening day seemed like yesterday. You know, it does. It's unbelievable that to me it went by really quickly.
In some ways it feels like it was yesterday, in some ways it feels like it was a lifetime ago.
Yard Goats play-by-play man Jeff Dooley and general manager Mike Abramson said it was a blessing of sorts to have those growing pains so early.
The crazy thing is that if you wanted to orchestrate the kind of success we've had, you need those 3 years of kicks and road bumps and all of the trouble, because a lot of the sweet came from the sour.
And would you believe, after all these years, Abramson said there's still a laundry list of things to improve.
There are so many little things. I mean, to this day, we walk around this ballpark and I still see so many areas that really need a sign or need some paint or need some color. You know, I do think that's why we've been successful, because we really care, and every year we want to improve. We're not satisfied with the status quo.
In that way, there's a striking similarity to how the Travelers Championship is run, in that both are widely regarded as first-rate organizations that could rest on their laurels, but don't.
They approach the Travelers Championship the same way we approach our ballpark operations. Yep, you could let it go and it would be fine, but they want to make it better every year. We want to make it better every year.
And that's reason to celebrate.
It's been a tremendously successful 10 years.
So why not use those early speed bumps as a reason to celebrate again next year, and maybe the year after that?
I saw 10 years and I was like, hold on, this is not right, but it is. So it's 10 years of the brand. So it was 10 years when we came up with the Yard Goat theme and made the announcement. 9 baseball seasons because of COVID, and 8 years in Dunkin Park. So technically we could celebrate 10 years for the next 3 years, is what I'm saying.
Here now with Yard Goats manager Bobby Meacham, of course, former New York Yankee, a man who knows how to build a winning baseball team, because you took the Yard Goats to the playoffs for the first time ever last year. First of all, congratulations on that accomplishment.
Oh, thank you, Tim. Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun to get to the playoffs and see all the fans show up and make a lot of noise. And hopefully we'll do a little better this year and go a little farther.
Yes, and yeah, here's hoping, right? Win some playoff games. Let's win the whole thing. But of course, it's not just about winning. It's also about trying to develop these young players, these young minds. I got to imagine they look up to you, having been a New York Yankee for so many years, and you've made that climb. You've walked that path. So how do you try to pass that knowledge along to them in a way that is sort of relatable?
Yeah, for me, it's just a point of trying to help them get better, right?
Yeah.
To teach them little by little how to get better, how to get to where they know that I've been, which is their dream since they were a little kid, get to the big leagues. And it's just about working hard every day. It's about showing everybody what you can do every single day to get better, to get to that level.
Do you find that there's some commonalities in what people are sort of missing out on a little bit? You know, if they're at 99% of what they need to be, where's that last 1% coming from?
To me, that last, comes from having belief in yourself, that faith that what you've done all day long to prepare that nobody's seen yet. Everybody, at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, when you're working hard, it's all of a sudden it shows up at 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock and helps us win a ball game.
Yeah. Now, how much of being a minor league manager is about just helping with fundamentals versus managing personalities and learning how to get the best out of somebody mentally?
Yeah, it's more personalities. The fundamentals they've heard all their whole lives. Since they're 7, their dad, and then it's their coach, then it's their high school and college coach. They've heard about the fundamentals, but just the little nuances about how to get the greatness out of them, right? It's like everybody's good. They're all professionals. They're all getting paid. But how do you get the greatness out of them? And that's the key, is just what they know mentally pushes them over the top.
Yeah. Now, talk to me about your experiences. Do you remember what it was like when you got that first big call to say, I'm headed up to the major leagues? I think, were you in Columbus at the time?
Yes, I was with the Columbus team, and I was in Rochester, New York, and I was stopped by Johnny Oates, our manager. He said, he goes, you can't go out there today to take infield. It's right after batting practice. He goes, can't. I'm like, wait a minute, I need to take infield. And he's like, no, you're not taking infield. You're going to New York tomorrow. Yes. So that was awesome. It was one of those moments you're like, oh my gosh, I finally did it. So it was a blessing to be able to play up there in the big leagues, especially for the Yankees.
Was he just trying to pull one over on you to make it sound like you were in trouble, like you were about to get cut?
It sounded like it to me, right? I was like, I can't. What do you mean I can't? But it was, like I said, what a blessing to be able to be a major leaguer and just do it for the Yankees was just a little cherry on top.
Forgive me if this is a stupid question. Have you ever gotten to be on the other end of of that and to be able to break the news to somebody, hey, you're headed up to the bigs?
Yeah, it was great. I got to manage in AAA with the Blue Jays for 3 years ago, and that's one of the funnest things. And even last year, we had 7 guys. I got eventually from this team go up. So I got a couple of them that went straight from here to the major leagues to join the Rockies. It's fun.
Yeah. That is uncommon that a AA team has 7 guys go on up there, and that you're able to help deliver the news too. I imagine you would like to make it back to the big leagues as a manager someday, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great. That's the goal. I told these guys earlier, just yesterday. I told them, hey, all of us have the same goal, right? To get to the major leagues, to push everybody above us to be great. So if they're not great enough, we can take their place, right? So my goal is to get to the big leagues just like theirs, and hopefully one day it'll happen. I'll be able to manage up there.
Yeah. Can you self-reflect? What do you feel like you need to do better as a manager?
Oh, I need to understand what it takes to really deliver. I tell these guys to talk to them about winning all the time, and it's about winning baseball games in a way that kind of inspires everybody around you.
Yeah.
The players get themselves better, they get the people around them better, and that's what I need to learn how to do a little bit better.
I have one last question for you. I'm only saying this as a Red Sox fan, but I always was so entertained. I know. Lately, yeah. So entertained by George Steinbrenner's antics over the years. I can't imagine it was always easy having to work for that man, but do you have any sort of anecdotes, good or bad, or what it was like?
I got plenty of them, right? But the bottom line was George, he wanted to win. Yeah. And that's the key. The key for me was how do you get that out of somebody? You don't get it out of them by making them scared to lose. You get it out of them by making them inspired to do the things that take to win. So that's what I try to do with my players. That's what I learned from a lot of players that were with me in New York, and George Steinbrenner was a part of that also.
I can imagine. The man knows how to win. This man knows how to win too. He's done a great job here in Hartford, and hopefully he can bring the Yard Goats to the playoffs again this season.
You guys are used to seeing the players out here on the field, but hey, we wanted to get to know them a little bit better, so we caught up with a couple of them one-on-one. Come check it out. What has been your favorite meal so far here in Connecticut?
Benny Montgomery brought pizza from I think kind of famous pizza spot, but it was really good. I don't remember the name.
Modern, so I'm heading down there tonight. I've been to Sally's. That's awesome. I've been to Frank Pepe's, but not the original.
I've only been here for a few days, but had a pretty good steak last night.
Nobody's giving you any New Haven beats?
No, I don't even know. I don't even know what that is.
So that's what they call pizza. We're famous for our pizza here in Connecticut, and there's a very specific style that comes out of New Haven. So, now, which artists do you like to listen to before the game to help you, lock in and get your mind right?
I don't like to, get hype or lock in as much. I like to settle down. I don't need much help getting too excited. So Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen, Any Country, that's kind of what I like to listen to.
Which artist? I'm going to go with Fisher and Rufus Du Sol.
Okay. Yeah. Auntie's in her 30s. I haven't heard of that second one.
It's probably a little newer. It's more of a West Coast thing for sure. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What is your favorite pre-game ritual?
I like to get some sunlight on me, maybe walk around barefoot, but I don't know if there's much sun here. But hopefully there is.
Not yet.
Okay.
Hang in there.
Okay, cool.
Where are you from?
I'm from Manhattan Beach, California, with plenty of sun.
What do you like most about Hartford?
About Hartford, the stadium and the fans are awesome. There's a lot of good things, but I think the best thing is the fans show out every day. It's always a fun crowd here.
And for me right now, I love the stadium. I've never played in a stadium this big, this cool, and I'm super excited. This field is insane. It's pretty cool when the seats wrap around into the outfield. You got some city buildings to look at while you're on the field, and the playing surface itself is beautiful.
It's great because here we are inside in the YG Club, and I kind of would rather be outside because the weather is so nice. It feels really good, and it's only going to get better as we go throughout the day, and that's exactly the way Jeff Dooley, the voice of the Yard Goats, grabbed me by the lapels a couple of days ago and said, you better deliver good weather. So we finally did.
Well, thank you for that. Personally, I have to thank Matt Scott because this is the warmest 5 o'clock temperature we've ever had an opening day, let me tell you.
Can we just get a soundbite of, I'd like to thank Matt Scott, that's important. Talk to me, this is the 10th season, and every year that I come, this place gets better and better. What do you attribute it?
Nice of you to say. We always try to think outside of the box. What haven't we done? What do our fans love? They love the fireworks. They love the T-shirt giveaways. They love the hat giveaways. Let's try to change the promotions up. Let's make people, have besides the baseball, which is obviously great. It's a great brand. The guys are constantly going to the major leagues, but we've got a lot of fans that are just kind of casual baseball fans.
Can I tell you the one thing that I think people come away, if they've never been here before, is the honest-to-goodness family atmosphere here. I mean, here we are in the YG Club, which I've hung out with, and every time I come in here, I see young kids that are kind of, whether toddlers are getting nursed or the young kids are taking a break, some of them even sleeping on the couch for a minute or two. But you really are welcoming to the family.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about families spending time, getting the kids out, getting them to an inexpensive place where they can watch the game if they can leave in the fifth inning, not feel like they've been cheated out of their money for tickets. So it's important to us. It's always been a family atmosphere. That's what minor league baseball is about, and we do have the greatest fans in baseball. So I think we cater to everybody, whether it's the grandma, grandpa, or whether it's the 5-year-old kids that want to run the bases on Sundays.
I've hung out with them all, Jeff Dooley. Thank you. We'll be talking to you all morning.
Thanks for the weather.
Oh, yes, exactly. He'll give me a tip later on. Yeah.
Edges are one of the most crucial part in baseball. Right here is a good example.
Matt Persanti is the man behind the field.
It's the transition between the grass and the dirt.
The turf expert and Guilford native was named Eastern League and AA head groundskeeper of the year last November.
It's a great accomplishment, but more importantly, it reflects the hard work of the whole crew, the dedication day in and day out through not only a 6-month season, but 9-10 months out of the whole year, and just working as hard as possible and just all buying into having the greatest field in baseball.
Persanti came to the Yard Goats after serving as head groundskeeper for the Missoula Paddleheads in Montana. He also worked the fields at the University of Portland in Oregon. After graduating from Elon University in North Carolina, he received a certificate of turf grass management from UMass Amherst.
Every day, we fine-tune the infield with the nail drag, a regular drag, a roll. We'll water. We repair the clay areas, mound home plate and bullpens every day. We mow every day. On off weeks, we'll do some more cultural practices to help the grass flourish. And then just, small things like cleaning up around here to make sure it's nice and pristine.
In his 4th season as the field operations manager, Persanti is loving every minute of the job and knows a lot is riding on him and his team. The stakes are always high in baseball. That's why Persanti says his edges have to be smooth.
Say a guy's getting ready to field it, ball hits a lip, it shoots up 10 feet, and there we go, base hit instead of a ground out. So, it's definitely one thing that we put a lot of emphasis on because we really know the importance of it day in and day out.
We're here at the Patron Party Plaza. It is one of many party areas here at Dunkin Park. And I want to kind of piggyback for a moment on what Tim Lammer said at the top of the hour, because they're now in the outfield as far away from home plate as you can get. All right. That doesn't, it's kind of cool, but it doesn't sound like it'd be good seats there. But that's where you're wrong, because there's seats all around the field. And as Jeff Dooley will tell us, there's no such thing as a bad seat here.
I tell you what, this ballpark brings out some pretty cool views, whether you're in left field like we are, whether you're at third base side, whether you're at first base side. But this is a pretty cool one because you can actually lean over and see if the ball is foul or fair, or it's going to go over the fence or not. So
if you got some words for the umpire, well, they hear you.
Yeah, they hear you. You've got a pretty good look at it right here. But that's one of these great things about Dunkin Park, Matt, is that you get the opportunity to creatively see the game like you haven't seen it in many other places.
I agree with that. And sometimes even it's just fun to wander around the lower level and just, get the whole view from anywhere you want.
Well, it's a 360 ballpark, right? So you can do that. You can try like every 10 feet. There's a new concession stand. We like to call it Connecticut's largest restaurant. So, take in some food and bev while you enjoy the Yard Goats game.
And by the way, for those of you, and because I used to be worried about this as a parent, if you're worried, oh gosh, and a runaway foul ball is going to, take out my kid, you've got the netting here. It's safe.
Yeah, we've got the netting. Yeah, we're actually one of the first teams to extend the netting down the lines. Now, Major League Baseball is pretty adamant about making all the minor league parks do it. So it's really a safety thing. Let's make sure that the people are safe behind the net. And people are like, well, I don't want to look through the screen. But guess what? Your eyes adjust after like a half inning. It's unbelievable. So better to be safe than sorry, right?
Absolutely. Words to live by. by Jeff Dooley. Thank you. Sure. Here's the thing, and as I said, we've been talking about all morning long just how great it is for families, and it really is. So if you have any doubts, it's gotten better and better in the 10 seasons, maybe the 9 seasons that they've been here at Dunkin Park, but it gets better and better, safe and fun for all families, all kids, and kids at heart, right? Back to you guys.
He's done everything. I mean, he's played at the major league level. He's coached at the major league level. I tell the young guys all the time, just listen, because here's a guy that he knows what it takes to get you to that next level and then eventually to the big leagues.
And Yard Goats play-by-play man Jeff Dooley said that's led to another way the Goats had a successful 2024.
Not only did the Yard Goats make the playoffs, 7 players that were on the team last year made it to the major leagues. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive for a Double-A team to have 7 guys go up to the big leagues.
Of course, minor league baseball is about a lot more than just baseball. There are a lot of theme nights for fans to look forward to as well.
We're really excited for this year. I mean, we've got some really fun promotions, some of our old standbys. I mean, we'll have our Los Chivos games. We have our Unicorn Night, our Harry Potter Day, our Star Wars Day, but we're adding some fun ones in, like Boy Bands Night, where we're just going to celebrate the boy bands of the past 4 decades. So it's a lot of fun.
Yard Goats general manager Mike Abramson said his team is always working to make Dunkin Park a friendlier place.
We did a couple of things this year that the fans will notice. One is that our picnic area in left field that spans the entire left field, we reconfigured it a little bit. We added some color. There's some new signage out there. And additionally, one of the really cool things is we built a quiet room and a nursing room right on the concourse. We've actually used my office for that for years. Now we built out this beautiful room on the concourse with the sound machine, nice comfortable chairs, really nice aesthetics, so fans can grab that key and go in there and just take a time out.
That attention to detail makes it no surprise that the Yard Goats organization got a big recognition last year.
And we also won, Major League Baseball's Minor League Organization of the Year, which is crazy, 9 years into the process to win that award.
That was a really cool phone call that we got when they named Organization of the Year, because it's for all teams at minor league baseball, all the A-ball teams, all the Double-A teams, all the Triple-A teams. So it's just one award.
What I love about the merch store is obviously with new identities, we are seeing new merchandise. Can you talk about those identities that you have going on this year and what folks can experience?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's funny if somebody walked in here and didn't know us, they'd be like, what a weird store, because there's all of these different teams. But yeah, we got a couple of new identities last year. We've really hit it out of the park in the past with the steamed cheeseburgers, the bouncing pickles. This year we have the Hartford Thunder Chickens. We're going to play a game as the Thunder Chickens right here.
Which is so great.
And then we've got the Hartford Leaf Peepers, which is really an homage to the 10 million people, if you can believe it, that come to New England each year just to see the leaves change color. So the Leaf Peepers and the Thunder Chickens for 2025.
And what I love also, so folks may not know this if they're just tuning in and they haven't watched us in years past, I dressed up like a pickle when you guys did the bouncing pickles. So you guys really embody these identities and try to just have fun with it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we get the whole staff together in the fall a few times and we just throw out the craziest ideas. There's no bad ideas. We come up with thousands of potential names and then we just whittle it down based on, something that's relevant to the area, something that sounds cool as a cool name. If we think it'll look cool on a logo on a hat, but it's a really fun process. It's one of the best parts of the job.
Now, let's say somebody is getting someone a gift, right? And they want to surprise them with merch. They don't have to come to the game, right? This merchandise store is open throughout the season without just being with the games, correct?
Yeah, it's a regular brick and mortar store. There is a street entrance. It's open regular store hours during the week. And additionally, yardgoatsbaseball.com. Store's open 24/7. It's always attended.
From the Yard Goats to the Thunder Chickens, the Goats' first alternate identity of 2025 is in honor of Connecticut's wild turkey population. The animals are nicknamed Thunder Chickens because of the loud, thunderous gobbling sound they make. Connecticut is home to 35,000 wild turkeys. You can see the Hartford Thunder Chickens on Thursday, May 29th. The second new identity this season, the Hartford Leaf Peepers. The Yard Goats say this is a tribute to the 10 million people who travel to New England each year to see the leaves change. You can see the Leaf Peepers on Wednesday, September 3rd. 3 alternate identities from previous years are back again. The Yard Goats will play as Los Chivos de Hartford on May 1st, June 26th, August 1st, and August 16th. During the games, the team will celebrate the people and cultures of the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Cuba, and Puerto Rico. There will be pregame performances, specialty food, and a special anthem. On Saturday, June 28th, the team will play as the Hartford Schoolboys. They'll wear uniforms and caps in honor of Johnny Schoolboy Taylor, the most famous Negro League baseball player from Connecticut. And one of the most popular identities, the Hartford Bouncing Pickles, will take the field on Wednesday, July 30th. The name comes from old Connecticut statutes and regulations that said it's illegal to sell a pickle if it doesn't bounce. The Yard Goats introduced this identity in 2023.
So talk a little bit about this new space here. We are celebrating 10 years here as well. Talk a little bit about why you wanted to bring the quiet room here to the stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. So for the past, 9 years here at the ballpark, we've used my office as the quiet room for nursing moms or people who needed a place to pray at certain times of the year or to take, maybe a child who had sensitivity issues. And we just realized we needed a space that was a little bit simpler to get to and more accessible. So we took a room, we built out this beautiful quiet space. We made it accessible, comfortable, peaceful. So folks, it's removing barriers for people that have concerns when they're coming out to a game, that there's something they need to do during the game and that they're be afraid they don't have a place to do it.
And you really take into consideration folks, what their needs are. You have, you're a peanut-free facility as well. Why was this space so important for you to include in your park?
Yeah, since we opened, it's really all about removing barriers, we want to make sure that anybody who wants to come out to a ball game can do so without feeling concerned that they're going to have any obstacles. It's really just good business, one. It's good people stuff, too. So that's just the impetus. And these are the types of things we would have liked to have thought of 6-7 years ago, but you just think of new things every year and you do the best you can.
And so for somebody coming to the park, how do they get into this sensory room? Where is it located? Can you tell folks?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's located on the main concourse, our 360 concourse. It's behind the press box. And all they have to do is go to our guest services and ask for the key, and they come right over. It's just a couple of steps away.
All right, Mike, I'm going to leave you and take a little snooze in here. I'll talk to you later. Thanks so much, Mike.
That is a 2-foot chili cheese hot dog. And that's not even the craziest thing they have. If you know the Yard Goats, they outdo themselves every year, and they do it because of this, the king of the crazy food. Can I call you? I'm bestowing you the king of the crazy food.
Lovely.
Chef Joe Bartlett, nice to have you here.
That's what I wanted out of my career.
It's a great finish. Here, question for you, and we're going to try this food in just a second. In the off season, do you just sit there and go, all right, what can I do to mess with the crowd this year?
We do. We do until about 2 weeks before, and then really panic.
All right. Rachel's already tried some of this stuff. I want to get right into it. So we'll start with this because the better one, well, not the better one. The one I want to try is the last one. Go ahead.
Okay. So that's an upgrade from our barbecue bacon dog footlong. This year we put a slowly stewed bacon marmalade with caramelized onions, crispy bacon, and some brown sugar.
Oh, that sounds heavenly. It really does. And for those of you who go, hot dog, forget it. But you can do it here. I think this is the only time of the year where I eat a hot dog.
Honestly, I was telling everybody on Wednesday when I was sampling these foods that nothing reminds me more of springtime than a hot dog at a baseball park.
And meatloaf. What? Wait a second. That doesn't make sense. But that's the one that everyone's buzzing about, right?
That's right. We're a family-oriented park. So I thought, let's bring in Mom's meatloaf. Homemade here at the park. It's covered with a slice of cheddar cheese, a little brown gravy.
And don't forget, it's on 2 donuts.
It's smashed in between 2 glazed donuts.
There's no other way I would eat meatloaf at a ballpark if it wasn't covered with 2 donuts surrounding it.
All right, Chef, let me ask you a question. Do you think that Matt and I could finish that on our own?
No.
Thank you for your support. All right.
I appreciate
Listen,
that.
I want to go in first because we haven't tried this yet. You had this. You
No,
said
I didn't try the meatloaf.
Oh.
I didn't try this.
All right.
The kimchi.
I had the kimchi hot dog.
All right, hang on. Okay.
Oh, God.
All right, here we go.
Wait, you're supposed to wait for me.
No, I'm not. Oh, that is good. It is sweet and savory.
Sweet and savory, yep.
Wow.
And then a little crunch with the frizzled onions.
Nicely done. Right, look at
I need a napkin.
forget me eating. I want to eat more of this. I'll save that. Oh my God. That is good.
Uh-huh.
All right, ready?
I gotta do that one?
Hot dog time.
All right.
And then once again, this is a foot-long hot dog with, don't just eat the whole thing. Come on.
no.
Come on. And what's on top?
The sweet bacon marmalade.
Okay. Go ahead. Sweet bacon marmalade. God, that looks good.
I really need a napkin.
You're a mess. Yeah, listen, I've worked with this young lady for years. This is how she eats. It's like an aborigine going like you just
I
got
usually
your
take
kill.
small, dainty lady bites.
That's good.
Very good. That is very good. I will say the kimchi hot dog also delicious as well. You've really topped yourself this year.
Yeah, nicely done.